Hey, good morning, John from Boston. I wanted to make a quick condensed video of the market manipulation tactics that will be used in the AMC GME squeeze. Let's kick it. This is not financial advice. This is my opinions, what I've seen, the observable evidence. It's not to be construed as financial advice, and that's all you need to know. That's basically it. Remember, name of the game is to make you sell your AMC stocks earlier the better. That's the whole premise behind it. You know, the usual suspects, these folks, 51 financial institutions, 3 big banks, Bank of America, Goldman, Royal Bank of Scotland, Barclays, you name it, they're all there. And of course, our friends over at GME, who we're also battling against, we also have to fight with them as well. So don't forget about them. All right, let's get into market manipulation really quick, really fast. All right, crypto equities, options, and squeeze delays. These are all done as distractions, right? The pumps that you see, the other stocks that are promoting, the luring of people into options plays with, crazy option schemes and stuff. That is all just FUD. It's actually just enticement, bait, if you will, for the GME AMC squeeze. They're trying to build liquidity, so they're going to sucker you into getting into these bets that you're not going to win, that you might make a little bit, but they appeal to greed, and that's what people do. They jump on that. I would recommend that if you're going to participate in this AMC GME squeeze, turn off all your sell orders. It's just weighing us down, essentially. When you have a sell order and it creates downward pressure, even if it doesn't get filled. Let's go to the next one. I think we talked about that. Okay, distraction plays. Deliberate glitches, right? There's no such thing as a glitch in fintech, financial technologies. It's there as a way to lure you in. Look at this one right here. This was produced the other day. $4,000 strike prices. Really? Come on. That's literally there to sucker you in, to get you into an options play. So you try to, quote, beat the system. And you're not going to, because they own the market and they own the betting system. So it's not going to happen. Let's talk about the rinse and repeat. Let me just fix this real quick. The rinse and repeat is basically the up and down feature, right? The up and down feature in which the stock moves in, right? That means it will go up and down, and it will kill a lot of squeezes for people. Why? Because people get scared. When they see volatility, they like, oh, I just want to get my money in and out and be done with this whole thing and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. You're going to see that here happening on this play. Rinse and repeat is to be there all the time. It can come in the form of trade trauma, or the concept of market halts. And let's talk about market halts real quick after this. But when this happens, the rinse and repeat, you'll see fake selling. Fake selling is going to happen all the time. You're going to see it on the tape, the level 2 data, so on and so forth. So whenever data you see is compromised, it's not real. It's just nonsense, because no ape will be selling. We all know this. Trade halts. Okay, here we go. Trade halts. This is the graph that I drew up for you guys. When this thing kicks off and there's the first trade halt, and I'm just making up these numbers, this is where you walk away, not from the trade, but the computer and the phone, right? When it reaches a certain number and the trade halt, it kicks in, you walk away. The second you stay longer and you start overanalyzing and obsessing over the stock, is it going to go up, is it going to go down, your fear will kick in, the FUD, and it's going to feel like an eternity, and you're going to want to walk away and exit your position, right? Instead, turn off the phone, turn off the computer, walk away from the situation, get away from it. Because if you stay here longer, the longer you stay in these orange zones, the more inclined you are to sell. They've programmed it that way because a lot of you guys have been trading for a couple months. You've seen ups and downs. It makes people skittish and impulsive. And when that kicks in, you have the tendency to sell your positions way too early at a cheap price. Don't do that. Be smart. Hold your positions. Stay right there. Don't sell, and let the market halt go away, and it'll go back up. I promise you it will go back up. As long as nobody sells, nobody freaks out, it will go back up in the ranges we want, okay? Heel dragging. This is done by market makers, the New York Stock Exchange, the hedge funds, you name it. Anyone that, if you put a sell order in, right, especially if you're bracketing, if you're one of those foolish people that are going to try to sell at like $10,000, $15,000, heel dragging is going to be a huge pain in the neck for you. They're not going to fill your order, right? It's going to be held up in that response, and it's going to be sitting in queue, and they're just not going to fill it because they don't have to. They can let this sit for days at a time. They can sit for an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, 2 days, 30 days. Heel dragging is a real thing, right? That's why I tell people, don't put in sell orders. Wait till we get to astronomical heights, then put your sell orders in. They can't halt you, they can't squeeze you, or they can't get the money out of you if you don't sell, right? So they will drag their heels. That you will not get your fulfillment that you're looking for in terms of your price. If you go through a limit order and it's too high from them, they're going to try to get you to lowball it. They're going to try to lowball the whole thing. So keep that in mind. Additionally, do not, under any circumstances, put any orders up at the market. The market level is the worst thing you can do, because what's going to happen is they're going to fill that order if it's a market order, and they're going to say, oh, it went down a few $1,000s. So let's say you sold for 15, and then you got to fill to 10, and they're going to say, well, what happened? Well, the market dipped for exactly 1.5 millimeter of a second or something, and then we sold your shares at 10,000 instead of 15,000 like you recommended. Yes, that does happen. Talk to anyone that was in DWAC or fun in the last couple of weeks. It happened to them, and they will do it to you. Mark my words, they will do this to you. Heel dragging is a real thing. All right, emotional manipulation. Apes, YouTube influencers, they're all going to try to make you feel bad and make you quit your stock at one point. It's going to osmosis back to you. In other words, if they say something inadvertently that's going to affect you mentally, right? It's going to happen, and it's going to resonate with you. And you see it everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in the comment boards. You go to any of the popular YouTubers, you'll see the FUD. You'll see all these open-ended questions left there to make you think. They're designed to make you think and to create manifestations in your mind, to question your reasoning and your confidence in AMC. That's the purpose behind it, right? They're open-ended, so it's designed to make you think. They'll leave an off-putting comment, and it doesn't seem off-putting, but the moment, the thought is captured in your mind, and you start manifesting it, you start thinking about it, and boom, before you know it, you sold your position for no reason. They know everything about us, the way they think, the way we think, what stimuli makes us move a certain way, behave a certain way, everything. They know everything down to a T. They have incredible resources. They have mass psychologists. They have marketing companies, deep learning machines, AI, analytics, control social media, internet forums, MSN, Netflix, you name it. They have access to it. They have money. They have reach. They'll do it. Okay. And don't put it past them not to hack into your shit. They could hack into your stuff, spoof your phone number, and put a sell order on behind you. That's why I tell people, if you're going to sign up to any of those stock accounting or verification websites, change your information to your brokerage. Change all of it so nobody has access to it. It's weird answers. Do not take photographs of those answers. If you write them on a piece of paper, just keep them somewhere else that no one can see. Just imagine if you're, especially you heavy hitters, guys that have like 10, 20,000 shares like I do not put anything on your phone that they can use as evidence. I have put pieces of electro tape on the cameras on my, and this is a little paranoid, but it's true. You never know what these guys are going to do up to. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about this right here. This is the thing I was talking about, level 2 data, right? The level 2 data, level 3 data, level 4 data, the volume is all going to be fake. You're going to see fake volume, and it's there to fuck with you. It's there explicitly to make you sell. You're going to see 20,000 shares, 100,000 shares, 2 million shares. All these things are designed so when your eyes see it, it causes panic. It's not real. They're going to take, this is a huge scam they're going to pull on us. They're going to say that, oh, look at all these people are selling off. They want you to sell off too. It's fake. It's not real. Okay. The level 2 data during the squeeze is going to be fake. Assume it's fake. Assume any authoritative data sources, Ortex, Yahoo, have all been compromised, because they have been. All these people are all in the take. They're going to get slowed. Here's how they do it. Either the market maker, the broker, or whoever you're using is going to slow down the tape, right? And they're going to put fake sell orders in because it's on their behalf. It's best that they do that and for their client, right? The reason why they do that, or the way they do that, is through coding. They code it to where it slows down, and you only see crazy numbers being sold off, right? But the stock may or may not go down. So keep that in mind. Another thing you have to worry about is bulk orders. Bulk orders are a scary thing. It's when they take all the sell orders all at one time and sell it. Okay, and I'll go over this with you guys a little later. One of the things, you'll see a stock climb from like 5,000 to 10, 20,000, and all of a sudden a dramatic drop. That is when they take all the orders that they have that have sold. They haven't reported it to the stock exchange, but they drop it all at once to create a substantial drop. We're talking massive drops in price just to fuck with your head. That's going to happen. They've been doing it forever. It's the most common technique, and it's there. All right. Mental games. Let's talk about stock fatigue, trade trauma, price rise anxiety. Okay, stock fatigue syndrome. This is a real thing. This is where you're so emotionally torn up for the last 10 months. You just want to get this thing over with, right? So you go through this exhaustion, this hypervigilancy, and you're just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to get out with this money, and I'm willing to go at a lower price. This is one of the biggest threats to this movement, is you getting tired and selling and just to get it over with. Every ape that listens to this should be concerned about this. It's very real. You should prepare for it, as well as anticipatory anxiety. That's a real thing too. Just sitting around waiting for it, just being hyper vigilant, you start obsessing over it. Okay. Trade trauma. Let's talk about this. This is a real thing as well, right? Consider the following: your fight or flight response, right? If you start to obsess over things, right, and you're at that critical junction, that moment of pure panic hits you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, the first thing you have to understand is what's behind your thought process. Well, a lot of reasons why people invest is because of their family reasons, to solve financial problems, to escape from stress and worry and all this other stuff. You have your reasons, right? That's a lot. Those are heavy reasons. Those are deep reasons, right? So it creates in us the fight or flight response. It's like when we went, when I went to war, I thought about my family, my friends, the American way of life, and it was either fight or flight. You have to fight. You cannot leave and flee off. It doesn't work that way. You've been in this for too long. It's self-perpetuating, right? So fight with us. We'll be with next to you. We will get through this together, and we will get rich in the meantime. Okay. Price rise and anxiety. This is the OCD spectrum that I was talking about earlier. We can put ourselves in a state of mind where we're constantly just obsessing over the stock. We start fortune telling. It's when you're trying to predict the future. You start obsessing over things. You start thinking about what the brokerage companies are going to do. You start thinking about what you're going to do. You're trying to be a mind reader. You have what if scenarios, the should haves, what haves. You're ruminating on different outcomes, and you're just kind of like, I don't know what to think about, and you're just driving yourself crazy. Catastrophizing. This is one of the worst, right? It's exaggerating situations by assuming the worst will happen. This is where, like, you think, I'm going to lose all my money. Oh, I'm going to lose everything. My family, my wife's going to divorce me, this, that, and the other. There's some of us that are in the community that have this. Be warned. If you go through this, walk away from the computer, take a break, go exercise, do something else to keep your mind away from that thought. All right. And let's keep going. These are tactics that you can work. Take your phone out and take a snapshot of this, because you can use these tactics to combat any anxiety, any issues that you run through during the squeeze. You can walk away from your computer. You can shift your focus, take a deep breath, hug your partner, pet your dog, positive reinforcements that this is going to be over. Drink water. A lot of people are dehydrated. It's true. I learned this in the military. Drink water. You'll be good. Sit on your hands and breathe, right? It's another technique I learned from when I was in the military. If you have anxiety afterwards, meditate in the mornings. You have a million of those apps, the yoga apps and whatnot. Abstain from substance, all right? A lot of guys drink. A lot of people smoke the hippie lettuce. I would try to stay away from that. I would do it. You want to be clear-headed when you're exercising these plays, and you just want to be smart and sober. Hey, also PT in the morning, exercise, right? Cardio and weights, easy to do. You can do that in the morning. Go for a 20-minute walk just to get your blood pumping, get a sweat on. Not a big deal. Just remember one thing: none of what you're feeling, all the fear and all that stuff, it's not real. It's just a big simulation in a sense, because they did this the last 10 months to make you feel anxiety, make you feel this way. It's not real. So one thing you could do is you could say, okay, I had this thought that came in my mind. It's not real. It's like accepting, how do I explain? Like if you buy a new Apple product and it's a new iPod or whatever, you have that long list of blah, 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 and then you hit accept, right? Do the same thing. There's a long list of what if scenarios, all the dark thoughts, hit accept, then just dismiss it like you would, a disclaimer form or something. That's one thing you could do. Let's talk about FUD. During the squeeze, trust no one. Absolutely no one. Not the media, not YouTubers. Don't trust anybody that is in any way, shape, or form telling you what to do with, just overall, because they could have an ulterior motive. They could be a paid shill. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. So stay focused on your goal, right? Have a controlled sense of paranoia that everyone out there is trying to get you to sell, because they are. They'll say do or anything to make you exit your position, and they're gonna, especially the media will start broadcasting clips of Joe Biden or Yellen or Powell or that other idiot. They're gonna push those videos and those contents and narratives to make you panic sell. It's going to happen. So don't lose confidence in the play. They can't actually do that. And I'm going to go over why. These things have to be done by executive order, right? It's not something you can just do. You can't just cancel the stock market. People would flee. So misleading headlines like Gensler and Biden cancel the squeeze, blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. You're going to see that. And it's going to come through the form of the media. It's not real. It's just BS. And we will show you what we're talking about when this happens. Fake dips. Let's talk about fake dips. All right. You're the smart guy that wants to make a little extra shares. So you sell at 350, right? And you have T+1, which is where they give you margin, your brokerage account, right? And you buy back in at this price right here, but the price goes down. You get margin called, and if you don't have that money, that broker will take away your shares. And there's the end of the squeeze. Don't buy, this is why I tell people, just wait until we reach astronomical heights to sell. Because if you start doing this, there's a very high likelihood that that stock will go down even further, and you get margin called, and that's it. That's the end of your squeeze. Keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that they could turn off the buttons. Remember that? NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, the brokerages, any one of them could turn off the button and you can't do anything. So don't sell, hold. You're not going to be able to buy, you're not going to be able to sell. Just hold until we get to that certain point where you are actually allowed to sell. This is what I was speaking about earlier, the massive sell-offs and the trade halts and the causation, if you will, of panic selling. This is it. All of a sudden, coordinated effort with all the institutions, and we saw how many institutions there are. A lot of people hold our shares, and they're just going to sell all at once. We don't know what kind of agreements they have in place, the backdoor agreements, gentlemen's agreements. We don't know any of that stuff. What we do know is there's shady shit happening, and we should be aware of it. So don't sell. You're going to see these dramatic drops, and you don't want to get out. Okay. They're all in bed together, and they're all against us. This is their family right here. This is their family. They're basically just, Bank of America, Citadel, you name it. They're all one family because they're buyers and their customers and their business leaders and whatnot. They're all in bed. And they hate us, and they want us to sell. These are the institutions that we talked about. They own shares in our company. Renaissance Rentec, as we call them. Jim Simons is the CEO of Rentec. He's got 7 million shares, maybe more. Ken Griffin, of course, Mr. Greenblatt. These are all people that have shares in the company. They're not our friends. They're not the only friends you have are other apes, right? And the institutions are not our friends. They're trying to get a high price as well. Tell all your friends and family about AMC this week. Get them to buy because the price is still low. We need more investors. Remember, it's a war of attrition, right? There's going to need to be there needs to be more of us than there are of them. So if we do have paper hands, we have enough people to say no. I'm going to keep them hold until such time where I'm going to sell at a higher price. Explain the situation to them. Download the Fidelity app or whatever brokers you're using. Fund it and ensure that they make their purchase. This is why they create FUD, to dissuade people from investing in AMC. You have to be the counter FUD. You have to be the person who talks to them and tells them this is the deal. Hey, wrapping up. This is a symphony, right? This is it. Here's the conductor, this guy right here. He's playing he's one doing all the shot calling, and we are here. And let me tell you, he is going to do his very best to throw us off and to kick us off our stocks. Hold, buy, and hold. That's all we have to do. And focus is a cool little acronym I use. Focus one course until success. 1 million for me is my focus. That's where we're at. And I don't know if we're ever going to get there, but we'll get somewhere higher than 100,000. I know that for a fact. We are at war. Fight for your family. Fight for your future. End generations of poverty. Be the defining force in your bloodline. Hope for crazy numbers, and God willing, we get there. This is Al from Boston signing off. I hope you found value in it. If you have, please share it with your friends and family. See ya. Bye.